Hello YouTube and welcome back to Crusader Kings 3 House of Mordecius. Thank you so much for joining us as we continue the legacy of the House of Mordecius and expand from this one county to, well, who knows. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed at any point, and make sure to comment. Let me know what you think of Crusader Kings 3 or about what's happening here in House of Mordecius. Make sure to subscribe so you get notified when I upload a new episode of this particular series. And without further ado, I think we'll hit play and let the dawn of the 1st of January, 868 AD, roll over. And we are still continuing with our war against the devilish devils there in Thomond. And on the 6th of January, 868 AD, siege of, what was this town called again? The siege of Lumnich is over. We now control Thomond, and we can go down to our war screen here, and we can enforce our demands on the earldom of Thomond. Now, we could demand a hostage to make sure that they don't attack us at any point in the future, but you know what? We might be attacking them here in the future, so I think we'll just go ahead and enforce these demands. We get a bunch of stuff from this. We gain 50 legitimacy as well as 75 fame. Our allies, which at this point is just Chieftain Dunkad, he will get 75 prestige based on his contribution. And bing bang boom, Thomond is now ours. Victory. This war lasted almost a year in total to claim one county. So be it. We've gained our legitimacy. We can now disband our army, which we will do currently. Good work, everybody. So now if we zoom out a little bit here, we can see that the good old Mordecius has expanded quite a bit. But with expansion comes big responsibilities. You can see up here in the top right now, our holdings is 2 out of 4. We can have 4 holdings in our realm, which means basically 2 other little counties, before we start experiencing penalties. So we'll go ahead and make sure that if we get any above our limit of 4, we can start handing land out to other people so we can vassalize them. And of course, right now, a big pressing matter is that in Thomond, we don't have any county control because, I mean, well, we just took over and people don't really know us, they don't really respect us, and so they're gonna possibly be looking to rebel if we don't get a handle on the situation. So who do we appoint to make sure that we get a handle on this situation? Well, that of course will be Marshal Mail and Fade. We're going to go ahead and let a day or 2 pass so that he is made aware of the situation, and now we will increase control in the county of Thomond. Boom. So he will be getting to work straight away on making sure that we have full control over our county. A big pressing matter on my mind right now is that we're in the negative for prestige, and our prestige is not going up, it's only going down. So what we need to do is rectify that situation. So we could demand a hostage from this guy, High Chieftain Serbal, who is from Ossory, this little county right here, which would give us prestige and renown. But the thing is, once we have a hostage of his, we can't attack him without suffering penalties. But I think at this point, honestly, it's probably worth it for us to do this. Let's see if we can change who the actual hostage is. And actually, this will probably be the most optimal choice here, because we can actually convert him to our culture because he's so young. Good old Salik McDougall, we will be demanding this hostage. And just as a reminder, we have these 2 titles right now, which is the Earldom of Mordecius, of course, our original title, and now the Earldom of Thomond. The big problem here is that, well, once we die, the line of succession dictates that these 2 counties go to, well, first and foremost, our spouses. That's great and everything, but they're not our heirs. So once we die, we won't have an heir. So we need to focus on that almost more than anything else. We're going to let a little time pass here. And the next thing that we want to focus on, really, more than anything else probably, is we probably want to focus on Enos up here to take next. The problem with this is that we can't declare war right now without getting in trouble for having such low prestige. So we need to focus on getting that up. But as we can see, our hostage is now on his way. High Chieftain Serbal has accepted our demand here, and he will be sending his, I think it's his son, right? Let's check really quick. This is a screen where you can kind of see who you're looking at and what they got going on. It actually looks like it might just be one of his courtiers, not necessarily part of his family lineage. But either way, he'll be sending him over shortly, and we will be able to see what happens next in terms of gaining prestige. It looks as though a army is being raised in Athlone. Not sure what that's all about. It's a neutral army, so not necessarily something we need to worry about at this very moment. And as you can see, we're still scheming to learn the language of Prince Rodri II. And on the 25th of January, we have a little event here. Dear God, go outside. It's late, and I'm tucking into a gripping treatise on classical grammar. Just as I start giggling at some delightfully snide marginalia left by the previous reader, my wife enters the room. Spineless man, you neglect everything but your studies, reading indoors alone from dusk to dawn. Get your head out of those dusty scrolls, or don't come to my bed tonight. So our fourth wife, they're all equally important to me, of course, but she is currently not very happy with us. So we've got a couple options here. We can do what she wants and gain alluring confidence for 1 year, and she'll gain some opinion of us. Doesn't necessarily help us with our goal of learning. We can also sort of encourage her to read with us, which gives her more learning, but it makes her kind of not as fond of us as she once was. And this last one where we can kind of completely reject her outright, but she would really not like that, and it, you know, although focused reading is great, it'd give us +1 learning for 5 years. I don't necessarily want to get on her bad side that much. I think probably the best thing for us is to do what she wants and gain alluring confidence for 1 year, and she gains a little opinion of us. What's the point of having 4 wives if none of them like you? You know what I mean? So another problem here is that if we go take a look at our military tab, we have pretty low count on our soldiers here. Out of 797 possible soldiers, we only have 519, and that is largely due to the war with Thomond. But we really should focus on getting those troop numbers up. But with our marshal currently exercising control over Thomond, he's not able to organize the army right now, which is why we're gaining them at such a low rate. And we don't have the prestige to upgrade our men-at-arms here, so we'll just go ahead and let time pass and see what comes of it. We can get a nice view here of the snow just absolutely covering our realm. City of Tralee standing strong, and then we also have Lumnich to the north. A new home. I am informed my hostage, Salic, I really hope I'm pronouncing at least some of these names correctly, has at last arrived from Leinster. High Chieftain Serbal's nephew will no doubt be anxious about his new life in Mordecius, so it is his nephew. Trust in your uncle, I reassure him. You will be treated well here. I'll show you to your room. So we did in fact get a good little boost to our prestige. We have now plus 1.2, so every month we'll be gaining at least 1 prestige, which is not bad. We'll be back up to where we need to be in no time. Another thing we can do to boost our prestige is we can hold an activity. We can hold a feast, we can have a hunt, or we hunt for animals, or we can go on a pilgrimage. Now, I don't view myself, or my character at least, as a particularly religious guy, nor is he much of a hunter, but feasts are expensive, so I think I actually might go with the hunt and just kind of let things, you know, kind of come where they may. If we hold a hunt, we have the possibility of gaining prestige, legitimacy, and also losing some stress. Now, if you'll notice here in the bottom left, we have a little stress bar near our character. We don't have any stress right now, which is a good thing, but, you know, if you undergo stressful events in the game, this bar fills up and it can be quite dangerous. But we're going to go ahead and organize a hunt because, well, why not? Only cost 35 of our available 99 gold. We're actually doing okay on money, so let's go ahead and organize a hunt. It's looking like Kinsale here is probably where we want to do it. So we'll be traveling just a little bit. We don't have a caravan master at this point, so we're going to look for somebody who might be applicable. Well, there's only 2 people that could even possibly do the job, and Dub Lemma, our courtier, seems to be at least slightly better at being a caravan master than Dunsik. So we'll go with Dub Lemna. Even though her aptitude is poor, we will go ahead and appoint her as our caravan master. Now, one thing we need to be careful here is that we have 2 medium chances of danger, and I believe that comes from here, Baltimore, oddly enough, where there are some hills that we need to traverse. So we're going to go ahead and hire a... what is it called? It's like a mountaineer, and that brings us down to 1 medium chance of danger. Now, we might just want to hire some guards. Guards often make those numbers go down. Oh, it's looking that Kinsale actually has quite a bit of forest. Actually, yeah, that's the area we had kind of checked out before. So what we will need is a forest guide, and that makes our danger go down entirely. So with a mountaineer and a forest guide, we'll be in good shape, and it's only going to cost us 26 gold. This is already going swimmingly, so we'll start our hunt, and you can see that we hired our forest guide here, Shamaria, and we also hired our mountaineer, Sness. One thing to consider here is that we can designate a guardian for our hostage, Salic, and I think we'll try to sort by opinion of me, because we want this hostage to not end up hating us just by virtue of him being here. You know, although Chieftess Durgale, our wife, could potentially be this kid's guardian, I think we ourselves are going to be their guardian. And basically what that means is I'm going to be responsible for watching out for him. I'm going to be making sure he gets a decent education while he's staying with us. So we'll go ahead and become his guardian. And that already raised his opinion of us up a little bit. The hunt begins, or at least traveling to the hunt is beginning. I will be hosting a hunt in Kinsale, and time has come for us to depart. I have no doubt I will be soon returning home, covered in glory. It's true, there is nothing quite like a good old-fashioned hunt. I can't wait! So as you can see, here's our little guy, and this is the path we will be taking through Mordecius to Kinsale, or Kinsale, however you pronounce it. And just as a side note, here in the middle of March, this battle is raging on, the Battle of Athlone. Somebody is not happy up there in the north. So now we're making camp. As we await the arrival of the rest of the guests, my servants can get started on the preparations. The gamekeepers check the woodlands each day for signs of quarry, while establishing a camp closer to the hunting grounds. I have checked my gear and horse many times. Won't be long now. And it looks as though there are some raiders here in Ireland, the Raiders of Ossory. Funnily enough, who we just traded a hostage with, so hopefully they avoid raiding us, though it's never a guarantee. So it's the 24th of March. Airlaid, who, if you'll remember, is my steward, assembles the party as the sun arises over the camp in the forest near Kinsale. The local gamekeepers have scoured the vicinity for recent tracks and fumes. The pack is a nuisance, scavenging from farms and retreating deep into the woods. Airlaid shrugs. No matter, a loathsome wolf can still give mighty good sport. So we can hunt the wolf, which is a middling level of danger, but also will give us middling levels of prestige. We can hunt a fox, which is much less dangerous, but we don't get a lot of prestige out of it. And also, our chance of success goes down, which, as you can see right now, is already pretty low. Or we can hunt a stag, which will give us as much as the wolf. However, it'll also decrease our success chance. I think the best option here is to go after the wolf. The 31st of March. It's a lovely day for a hunt, which means it's a nice day to be outside. As I fill my lungs with the fresh air of the wilderness, I spot in the distance what can only be a gift from, or nature's dedication to, Jesus. So many useful herbs and beautiful flowers, both for healing and malicious intents. But I'm here to hunt. Picking delphiniums may raise some eyebrows. Oh, and by the way, our attendants flushed the prey, so our success chance has gone up just slightly. So out of our options here, if we keep up with appearances, it'll increase the hunter trait for us, which means we might be a slightly better hunter. We'll also gain 75 prestige, which will put us in the positive for once. And it'll slightly increase our success chance, which we desperately need. So we're definitely going to go with that option. Here at the beginning of April, the Battle of Athlone has come to a close, with the first army of Athlone, I think, being victorious here. Kind of hard to tell, but we'll find out here in a minute. Chieftain Dunkad found raptor eggs for 5 gold. That's pretty cool. But we have some hunt illegal prey activity going on. Poachers here in the chieftain's forest. They huddle together as I ride up with my guards, making a poor job of hiding the dead stag behind them. We did not do this. Please have mercy, glorious chieftain. Their blades and bows belie their words. So we have poachers in our woods. So we can punish the poachers, which will make people in this county like us a little bit less, but it also increase our taxes. We can just tell them to get out of our forest, or we can ask them to turn over the animal they killed and turn over some fines as well. We have a 42% chance here of gaining a lot of good stuff, but a 57% chance of losing a lot of good stuff. But you know, 42% is not bad. I think I'm going to gamble it. Hey, and we got lucky. It actually went our way. We gained 15 gold, got 150 prestige, and our success chance went up a little bit. Oh, and battle is breaking out here in the Earldom of Ormond in early April of 868. And it is looking as though the first army of Belku up in the north is retreating. Airlaid found some raptor eggs. There you go, Airlaid. My steward signals across the woodland. The whole wolf pack crouches in a hollow not far off. The beasts bolt up on our approach, howling the alarm as they retreat into the dense undergrowth, fangs snarling. We chase after the fleeing gray vermin, focusing on the largest of the group. Now begins the real chase. And these two options here are going to give us stress, which we do not need. And also this method, though it is perilous, increases our success chance and gives us some prestige. So after it, we ride. Yeah, big things happening here north and northeast of us as multiple armies going to battle. I pause to quaff from my water skin, savoring some cool relief from the sweat and havoc of the chase. As I secure it at my side, I hear a low whistling noise. An arrow slams into the leaves at my feet, burying itself deeply in the ground. I and those closest spin around, but there is no one there, only the wind rustling through the dense trees. So this option down here ends the hunt, which, we're not backing out at this point. I gained 8 stress. I can just kind of shout out to be more careful and nothing else happens. Or I can do an intrigue challenge, which I don't believe we're like super great at intrigue. But we can either find the shooter or gain more stress. But 16 stress is not much. And we already gained 8 stress, which as you can see really doesn't like kill us. So I think we're going to take the challenge. And of course, we couldn't get lucky twice. We gained 16 stress. There was no clue of who shot the arrow at us. We can hardly keep up with the blasted beast as it darts and weaves through the dense trees, howling wildly. Scaling a rise and disappearing into a dense thicket, the wolf is gone as quickly as it appeared, with only panting dogs and sweaty horses to show for it. The damn thing is gone. The hunt fails. Yeah, such is life. You know, hunts don't always go as planned. You don't always catch something, but we gained quite a bit of prestige out of this hunt. And going into May, this is a very good thing because as soon as we get home, we're going to start some wars, baby. Everything that could go wrong seemed to do so, but there were silver linings to be found. Airlaid gathers the disappointed party and exhausted hounds for the trip home. The wolf indeed eluded us this time. Let us leave this adventure behind for now. Well, I think it brought me and Airlaid a little bit closer together, and, you know, we gained some experience in the hunter trait, which is always good. We'll go ahead and finish this hunt. Well, I'd say that was a pretty much a success, all things told. We're going to head back home, as you can see our guys heading home. And at this point, there is a few wars that we can declare. It looks as though the next war that we'll want to be doing here is conquering the county of Brefne. Only costs us 18 piety, and we have quite an advantage over their military. So what I'm hoping doesn't happen is we declare this war, go to war against Chieftain Tigernan here of Brefne, and then, you know, hopefully somebody else doesn't come try to attack us while this is happening. But we're going to declare war. We are, in fact, going to battle against Brefne. We're going to send the first army of Mordecius up to their capital, Drom Atter. And let's just make sure our commander is who we want it to be. I'm currently traveling, so I can't be the commander, so he'll have to do for a moment, well, at least while I'm traveling. I can call some allies to war, which in this case I think I'm going to want to do. We'll call our more powerful ally, Chieftain Dunkad, to come to war with us. And just as a reminder here, this is our land that we own here, and Brefne is here outlined in red. So just so you can see sort of in the scope of Grander Ireland, the size of these lands that are going to war with each other. All of these, you know, lands around are largely uninvolved in the war, though that might change. But yes, Ireland is being plunged into chaos as we speak, with multiple battles happening. Chieftain Dunkad responds to our call to war. Thank you, Chieftain Dunkad. I finally get home. There's nothing better than arriving back in Mordecius after a long journey. I look forward to resting for some time, but the call of the road beckons ever onward. We were gone for 78 days. Good lord. Thank God I can go inside again. Relatable. So we actually will swap out here with the commander of the first army of Mordecius, because we are quite a bit better than him at keeping armies organized. And one thing we might want to do here while we have time is spend a bit of prestige increasing our army size. Yep, we're going to go all the way up to level 5 for our footmen. Pretty good size army for now. And if we need additional kind of reinforcements, we might be able to send some more troops out once we get into the thick of the fight. And we can see here, the first army of Imlecober is sort of coming with us on this journey north as we go to assault Brefne. Ooh, and as we get a bit closer, we've revealed that, well, there's some larger armies at play here than we might have originally thought. So we're actually going to want to switch strategies here. We were heading this way towards their capital, but it is under siege by a pretty large army. So what we might want to do right now is just head for this army here and make sure it is thoroughly dispatched of, because we more than likely can take them with the amount of troops that we have. It's the middle of July, and the war is erupting with our allies here engaging in the Battle of Athlone against an enemy army that I believe they should be able to take. They're making some good progress here. And here we go, engaging in battle at the Battle of Adrag. See how these battles turn out. Things could get dicey here pretty quickly with a sizable army directly to our north, though they are currently sieging Alec. We want to keep an eye on our lands here, make sure nobody's coming from the south to gank us. Things going okay for these two battles here. They're holding them off in Athlone pretty well, and we are... Well, things are definitely getting closer between the two armies, but should hopefully be okay. We might actually want to call in our other ally, Chieftain Congalok, though he doesn't have many troops. Every little bit helps, so we're going to call him as well. And here at the beginning of September, our calls are answered as Chieftain Congalok joins the battle. He's here up to the north. He's actually neighboring Brefne, which will make his response time to the battle much quicker. The 18th of September, the Battle of Athlone is over, with our allies here victorious, and they begin heading north to assist us in this battle and potentially to head further north to take on this army up here. This was a hard-fought battle, and honestly, you know, we suffered for it. Just outright chaos in Northern Ireland. So our war score has gone to 50%, so we're doing okay. But we need to be really careful here as we begin our approach on this city to potentially strike it. But I think that might be our only course of action here, so we're going to send them into attack. We're going to send our troops in, and hopefully our allies are there to help us. We could always, as added insurance, possibly try to hire some mercenaries. We don't have a ton of gold to spend on it yet, but depending on how things play out, it might be a necessary evil. Our allies coming from the north here. The first army of Oriel is approaching as many armies are retreating. They can sense that a big battle is brewing, and in November, the battle begins. The battle for Brefne. Definitely at a little bit of a, well, kind of a stalemate, I guess. Our numbers are pretty even, and an additional 100 troops from the first army of Oriel are coming in to help us out here. And, well, our counselor, Mael and Fade, has died in the battle. Unfortunately, he has been viciously dismembered by Godi Orver of the Mons Axe. Rest in peace, Mael and Fade. Which means it's time for us to appoint a new marshal. We don't have a lot of people to give up here, so we might have to do without a marshal for the moment. Actually, Airlaid is better at being a marshal than he is at being a steward, so we're going to reassign him. And for steward, well, we're just gonna have to wait it out and see if we can get by without him for the moment. I think I can try, now don't quote me on this, but I think I can try to sort by steward here amongst the people in my court, and I can potentially recruit this guy to my court. I give him 12 gold and he joins my court. And I think I can hire him on to be the steward, so let's see if we can do this. We'll recruit him to my court. Go to our council, see if we can appoint him, and we can. He's not great at it, but he'll do for now. Congratulations, Taithlik. Welcome to the team. Things are not looking good here for the battle as we approach the end of November. They have troops coming in from the east and the north, and we're barely able to fight off the army that we're fighting as it is. For some reason, this army is moving up to the northwest to fight them. They're almost certainly going to lose that battle. But whatever keeps them off our back is fine by me. We are approaching the middle of December here. We might not be able to see the result of this battle until next episode. Snow creeps over Ireland once more, as it looks like we are slightly getting the upper hand. Very, very slightly. But it's getting pretty close here. They are certainly taking our numbers down quite a bit. But here on the 31st of December 868, this is where our episode will end. So some good progress for today. We did take a county. It looks like we might be able to take another, but it's still unclear. But we will see what happens next time on Crusader Kings 3 House of Mordecius. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Please make sure to comment so you can let me know what you think of Crusader Kings 3 and the House of Mordecius moreover. And make sure to subscribe so that you can see even more. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time.